Donald Trump's pick for Attorney General Matt Gaetz has withdrawn his nomination amid allegations of sexual misconduct. Gaetz met with Senate Republicans earlier in the week and agreed that his confirmation was unfairly becoming a distraction. So former Florida Attorney General Pam Bondi is Trump's new pick for the role. Joining me now is Sky News contributor Beau Davidson. Beau, good to see you. Look, Matt Gaetz' nomination lasted only 10 days. What's happened here and what do you make of his new pick?
Well, from the get-go, Danica, this was a controversial pick. He was hot-headed. He caused a lot of friction in the House, certainly with former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy. So there was already that kind of friction to begin with. But my understanding from reports that I have from sources inside about this report that was going to come out about him, it was very salacious. There were not just allegations in there that were salacious. They had the receipts. They had evidence. And that was going to be a damning report. So did Trump see this? Did someone alert him to this? Maybe, perhaps. But bottom line is Matt Gaetz had become dead weight. He'd become a liability. And so I think in the end, this was actually a good move. And if you think about his replacement, who it's going to be, Pam Bondi, I've actually met her before, strong woman, strong Floridian, does not come with the same skeletons in the closet that Matt Gaetz did. So I personally think that Pam Bondi will be able to do all of the things that Matt Gaetz would have done as Attorney General, just without all the hoopla and the fracas and the uproar that Matt Gaetz caused. So in the end, it's probably a better pick in the long run.
Well, look, in some shocking and sad news for the 74 million Americans who voted for Donald Trump, former talk show host Ellen DeGeneres and wife Portia de Rossi have fled the US and moved to the UK in the wake of the result, telling friends that the election of Donald Trump was their primary motivation, that they've settled into Cotswolds, a rural town in south central England, and have no plans to ever move back. I mean, whatever will America do without Ellen DeGeneres? The same woman accused of bullying staff on the set of her former show and creating a toxic environment, and the same woman who laughed about killing Trump.
If you had to be stuck in an elevator with either President Trump, Mike Pence, or Jeff Sessions, who would it be?
Does one of us have to come out alive?
Beau, my condolences to you on the loss of Ellen DeGeneres from America. How are you feeling about this sad moment?
Danica, I've got my all black on. I've got my vigil candle lit for Ellen DeGenerate, is what I call her. Danica, there was a 2020 BuzzFeed report that came out that detailed a toxic work environment from about, 36 staffers. So if there's any good reason for Ellen DeGenerate to be leaving the country, I don't think it's really the re-election of Donald Trump. It's probably the fact that she should be running from these staffers and the whole reason that her show lost its place and is no longer on the air, because this whole feel good, be kind, be nice vibe that Ellen had, I think that's gone out the window. So you know what? All I can say is good on her for making good on her promise to leave. She and Portia can go. But aside from that, at least she made good on it. Now, if we can just get all the other pompous celebrities who said they were going to leave and say, you guys follow suit, please.
Yes, I can tell you are in deep mourning. Fascinating, isn't it? Now, Beau, we spoke last week about the hemorrhaging ratings for left-wing media outlet MSNBC, and it just keeps getting worse for the network. Now the New York Post is reporting that its parent company Comcast has confirmed a massive spin-off of its cable networks, and that the network is likely to have large-scale layoffs, a change of its name, logos and headquarters, among other things. Beau, it really seems as though the hosts of Morning Joe meeting and grovelling to Donald Trump at Mar-a-Lago, well, they can't even save this tanking network.
Yeah, we here in America don't call it MSNBC. We call it BSNBC for all the BS that they peddle. I mean, you've got Morning Joke over there. You have Joyless Reed, and you have Lawrence O'Democrat. These are people that are not exactly good. They're not journalists. They're hate peddlers. They're leftist. I think it's interesting that this new conglomerate that they're creating, this new parent entity, is called SpinCo, because that's pretty much all MSNBC ever was all spin, no truth. No honesty. But I've got an idea that I'll just put out there for those who are thinking about rebranding this network. I think they should do a rebrand. They need to have more conservative voices. They need to bring in more balance. So I would call it NBC America, a place where everyone has a place at the table. If you do that, if you actually listen to the voters of America who just spoke just a few weeks ago, I think in the end, you'll have a better business, you'll have a healthier business, you'll have a more profitable business because their ratings have been plummeting. They've been bleeding viewers. I think if you did that and created more of a spirit of Americanism, of being a pro-America type of conglomerate, I think in the end, you'll win. And that's exactly what I think they should do.
Yes, that is a really good point. Now, before we let you go, a new poll shows that Kamala Harris is the front runner for the 2028 Democrat Party presidential nomination, way ahead of other Democrats, including Gavin Newsom and Josh Shapiro. Beau, this is only just weeks after, of course, she was decimated in the election vote. Is America really ready for Kamala round two?
I think Republicans would welcome Kamala round two. Kamala 2.0 would be amazing because in the hopper right now on deck, you've got what? J.D. Vance, you've got Ron DeSantis, you've got Vivek Ramaswamy, and a host of others who would pummel her again. But this is, look, if they're dumb enough to nominate her again, they get what they deserve. We saw what just happened. She got annihilated. And it was because she was a bad candidate. See, this is where Democrats really have to rethink their whole strategy. If you put forth someone like that who's word salad, who can't speak policy, who has no policies, then you're going to lose. The fact that she's still at 40-something% and Josh Shapiro and all these other people are way down the line is just a testament to how much of a state of disarray and upheaval the Democrat Party is actually in right now. There is no de facto leader, but they need to pick up their lick their chops and pick up the pieces really fast, or they're going to lose every election down the line because the Republicans smartly have already thought about what America First is for a second and third generation. So I think she's unlikable, and I think she's unelectable.
Yes, the Republicans have a clear succession plan. The Dems, on the other hand, not so much. Beau Davidson, great to have you on as always. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you, Danica.